Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us another day on the Village Radio Talk Show. I am Roderick Daly. I am your host, and I will be flying solo for a few minutes. Um, I don't have my Andre, I don't have my Joanne, I don't have my John. I, I'm just going to be flying solo. So I'm going to need all of you out there in TV land, media land, right? And to make sure you keep me active. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, where we're dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us in realizing our dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today. How's everyone doing? And thank you, villagers, for joining us. Um, Sorry I'm a little bit late. It's pretty much old age. All right, pretty much old age. Running around looking for things that I'm saying, where are they when they're right in front of me? Right. All right. So, wow, there's so much to talk about. All right. So much to talk about. First of all, greetings. Last week of April. Um, I want to laugh, right? I want to laugh at um, the text messages, right, that you get. And those text messages say, in 253 years or in 1,000 years, this is the first time that um, we're going to have 4 Saturdays and 4 Sundays, right? 4 Saturdays and 4 Sundays in a month, right? And I laugh at that, right? I laugh at that because at the end of the day, right, the question is, what is 27 divided by 4? Right? What is 27 divided by 4? Last time I checked, right? Last time I checked, 27 divided by 4 is um, 27 divided by 8 is 4, and 28, I'm sorry, 28 divided by 7 is 4, and 28 divided by 4 is 7. If I know these numbers correctly, that would tell me that there are no remainders, right? So if there are no remainders, then uh, I did it both ways to say that you must have 7 days in a week and 4. So each day you will have 4 times in a month, right? Um, and the question is, why did people send this stupidness out every um, every February? And who actually falls for this? Who falls for this? Do you fall for it? Right? Do you fall for this stupidity? What am I looking for? All right. So again, welcome. Hi, Tanisha. Good evening. How are you? So, all of the individuals out there, I'm going to need you to like chime in. I'm by myself, so I don't want to hear myself talk all day. Um, Definitely don't want to hear myself lecture all day. But so there are a lot of things that we want to talk about today. Oh, the I made a mistake last week. Um, I made a mistake last week, right? and that is that the guest on the deed is next week. Right, this week we're going to be talking about healthcare. Right, we're going to be talking about healthcare and some of the issues, but there's so many things. Uh, there's so many things that we want to talk about. Right, we want to talk about why these different. Um, some things we want to talk about in terms of what's happening in our country. One of the things I was thinking about is um, the 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 media blitz with with um, with Donald Trump. It is very clear that the government will make money, right? Will make money from Donald Trump. The media will make money from Donald Trump. Because at the end of the day, he is a comedian. And he does things to generate ratings, right? Right, to generate ratings on for himself because he's egotistical, right? He's egotistical and he can't help himself. So he is going to do the things necessary to shed light on himself. So what are some of the things that he's going to do? The mayor's recent rant. All right, give me 1 minute. I'm looking for something. I'm waiting for an email. So let's talk about it, right? Actually, I didn't see the video on his rant. I heard about it. I heard about his behavior, right? I heard about his behavior. Right, I heard about his behavior. Right, and that the fact that he backed out from attending the mayoral forum. So tell us a little bit, Tanisha, about the rant. What happened at the rant? Let me just Google it right now. Say what? No, he did not. He called people the N-word? Right. Let me look it up. So this is 1 day ago, 6.5 thousand views. But I can't. You try a comfort hoodie, you can't go back to regular right. They're slightly weighted. Right. The mayor. Hi, Grayson. You don't have on a shirt.
They can't see me.
Yes, they can.
They only see my face.
I'm trying to research it as we speak, Tanisha. Good evening, Star Girl. Who did he call the N-word? The audience. Let me see if I could figure this out from here. Let's skip.
Yes, I did.
Hold on. No thanks. Let's hear what he said. This is from Good Day, New York.
Yesterday, I want to get back to an event you had at the Gracie Mansion last night, where you spoke about Black History Month, and in it you said, "quote All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God forgive them. Are you implying that if you're black, you have to support you?
No, not at all. I'm asking for all New Yorkers to support me.
So who are you specifically talking to when you say Negroes?
Well, who has stepped down? Who has asked me to step down? If you look at that whole speech, the speech talked about.
Is that the speech you're talking about, Tanisha?
Of lighting your flame and continue to light and shine. And that's what we've done in this administration with our team. So those who have,
This is from Fox News, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just playing.
Prematurely be extinguished. That's what I'm talking about.
So you're saying all New Yorkers are Negroes?
I thought I was very clear in my definition of what I said. All New Yorkers, we got 8.3 million New Yorkers, 8.3 million people didn't call for me to step down. I get just the opposite when I'm in the streets.
So anybody who's black who calls for you to step down, they need help from God. I'm focusing on this because your use of the word Negro has come up repeatedly over the last couple of weeks. And I think some people actually have an issue with that term. So explain who you're talking to when you use that term specifically.
I didn't say they need help from God. I said pray for them. Wasn't that what I said?
You said, quote, God forgive them.
Exactly. Let's pray for them. And so let's focus on this for a moment. Isn't our democracy is based on who the people of the city elect? Why are we trying to disrupt and take the power away from the people of the city who elected me to be the mayor? And then ask the question, what have I done that we're going to usurp that power from the people? I have not been convicted of a crime. I've moved the city forward. I've done the job that New York has asked me to do. And so when you have those that
All right, so interesting. Let me just play the clip that you sent me, Tanisha. Let me play that so everybody can hear it. Hold on.
This is a biblical moment. You know, when Jesus was on the cross, he said, God forgive them for they know not what they do. All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God forgive them. Are you stupid? So this is a biblical moment.
Okay.
You know, when Jesus.
So I thought you meant the other N word, but yes, it's still close to the N word. That's interesting. But those are strong words, right? Those are strong words saying that if you don't support him, God help them. Trump said he's God sent to save America. Is there a correlation? I don't know. It's just a question. I don't know, Tanisha. It's just a question, right? Is he making a connection with Donald Trump? Now, I would have to hear the whole speech, but enough of that to understand that he's saying that he's not stepping down. He deserves to be in office. Yes, and that's my point. He's sounding like Trump. That is exactly my point. He's using Trumpian philosophy to hope to hold on to his seat. Now, Scott Stringer, Brad Lander, and him are in this battle for mayor, right? Whether or not, we don't know who's going to come out on the top. I think, and Zelnor Myrie, right? I think currently Brad Lander is ahead, or he and Eric Adams are close in the primaries. And actually yesterday started petitioning season, right? And the question is, who's going to be the number one signature getter on the ballot? Who's going to be number one, right? Well, you can forget. I like Michael. He's cool. But I don't think that he will have the support to pull in. I mean, he did well against Germani. He did. He really did do well against Germani. So let's not count him out, because he did do very well in that citywide race in 2021.
Yes, I like this.
in 2021 against Jumaane Williams when he ran for what? Right. Yes, I agree that he's organized, but you know, you're more citywide, more statewide than me. Oh, by the way, people, please hit the like button. Hit the like button, touch on the like button on our show. The more likes, the better. Just keep liking our show. Just like I said, click the button, and if you haven't subscribed, please just subscribe to the show. You're right, but maybe because I'm more Brooklyn politics, you're more citywide than me, right? But also Andrew Cuomo is coming on the scene, right? So that's a good point, Stargirl. And if Andrew Cuomo comes in, right? If Andrew Cuomo comes in, it's going to be an interesting race in New York City, right? At this present, ladies and gentlemen, and you can call in to our show, right? Call into our show and express, right? Express your thoughts as well, right? Express your thought as well. The fact is, at the end of the day, Eric Adams is in trouble, right? Many New Yorkers feel that Andrew Cuomo got a bad deal when he lost the governorship. I've spoken to so many New Yorkers who said, I will vote for Andrew Cuomo. Right? So many New Yorkers. So, I don't know. The thing is, would he, meaning Andrew, want that his boss is the person that he used to be the boss of? Right? Would Andrew want that? Right? So that's an important question. So we need to figure out if that's something that somebody wants to happen in the city. I don't know personally. Would I do that? Right? Would I do that? I'm not sure I would. I don't know. Oh, call again. You could call again. Right? 347-746-6598.
Tanisha.
Go ahead, Tanisha, you're live.
Hello, how are you?
I am great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I figured it'd be easier to call in and talk versus trying to type.
Sometimes it's easier to type than it is to talk. Now, some people don't like to hear themselves on the air, and some people don't. It doesn't matter. Go ahead, I'm listening. So tell me about what do you think?
Say to you that this is definitely going to be an interesting race since it's ranked choice.
Right. Do me a favor. By the way, you want to tell people who you are, or?
Oh, definitely.
Go ahead.
Hello, audience. I am Tanisha Walker Miller. I am the founder and CEO of the Source Consulting Group. Longtime Brooklynite, alumni of Malvern, longtime Brooklynite of a wonderful junior high school that Rudy and I both went to for a very long time.
What was that? What was the name? What was the name of that junior high school again?
Meyer Levin.
Oh, Meyer Levin. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Just want to make sure people know that. I don't know. So tell us a little bit, like, you know, your background in like politics. So why you think like and explain to the audience what ranked choice voting is for those of you who are not completely familiar with it or not have not an understanding of it.
Well, just full disclosure, so I have run a lot of political campaigns over the years throughout New York. I was a political organizer back in the day for a grassroots organization called Acorn. I am the former executive director for the New York State Senate Conference of Black Senators from back in the day. And I'm also the founder and CEO currently of the Association of Black Lobbyists and Consultants here in New York. So in terms of your question regarding ranked choice voting, this is a system that was set up so that New Yorkers would have an option when it came to local races of who they wanted to rank as their first, second, third, fourth choice for a candidate in the election. And I'm going to say this so everyone can hear me. Once Andrew Cuomo officially joins this race, he is most likely going to be the number one choice for a lot of our community members.
Why do you think so?
Well, when you look at what we're going through currently, New York needs someone who has the experience, the wherewithal, and the knowledge to be able to help put New York back on track. We kind of need a new sheriff in town who can help deal with the fight that we have coming down from federal government. We need someone who, and just full disclosure, I do not work on his campaign, so I'm just an independent talking, but we need someone who can be a real sheriff to put New York back on track. You know, Eric, I think he's a great person. You know, I loved him in the beginning, but there's been a lot of things he's done that the city needs help with cleaning up.
You know, Andrew Cuomo was, but you have I have Phil who says I'll vote for Eric 100%, right? Andrew Cuomo rose to power, right? Because he was good, right? He was good, and then he became, you know, U.S. Secretary of State under President for HUD under Bill Clinton, right? And then from there, it propelled him to become Attorney General and then governor of the state of New York. My question is, when is right now is petitioning time, right? When is the most important time for him to jump into the race? By the way, do you know offhand how many signatures you need to get on the ballot for governor? I mean, for mayor?
I don't remember off the top of my head at the moment, but I can definitely I can have my team give that to you.
Yeah. So what do you think? When do you think if he is supposed to make this decision? Because when do you think would be the time that he would be making a decision?
If he does this right, I would say the time to jump in would be now. So that way he can get the necessary amount of signatures needed to appear on the June ballot. He needs to.
It says
you know,
it says
be public.
3,750. 3,750 is the answer.
Okay.
All right.
So let's look at it from this perspective. If he gets in now, he'll be able to get those numbers. He'll be able to put a team on the ground, an organized team, to get on the ground and actually get the signatures he needs. And it'll be an opportunity for him to use these remaining months to roll out whatever policies that he's looking to implement for the city.
I know I supported Eric Adams hands down in the last race, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
I supported Andrew Cuomo for governor, and I still would support him today if he ran for governor. What do you think people who are torn in that conversation? Because he's the mayor, you keep him as the mayor, or you're more loyal to Andrew Cuomo?
Well, I mean, I would throw in one more piece to that, right? Look at the crisis we're dealing with Trump in office right now. Look at the issues that we're dealing with immigration right now in New York. We need someone who's going to be able to figure out solutions and not be a yes man. So I don't see that in Eric right now, with his legal case being what it is, what, you know, his current situation with his staff being what it is. He's in crisis.
You know, I think one thing that needs to be added to that is that Andrew don't like Trump, and Trump don't like Andrew, right? And that will make a difference, right? That will make a difference in terms of people's look, especially New Yorkers who don't like Trump. Are you saying you vote for Andrew Cuomo if he's running for mayor? I know you mentioned governor. We're speaking of mayor, didn't you?
Sorry, Mayor.
No. What I'm saying, I don't. Is that a question for me, Phil, or is that a question for Tanisha? Because what I am saying clearly is that I voted for Andrew Cuomo for governor, and I voted for Eric Adams for mayor, and so therefore, and people like Andrew Cuomo, and people like Eric Adams, and people also felt that Andrew Cuomo was treated unfairly when he was removed from office. So I'm asking Tanisha, what is her thoughts on people's responses to that? Like, and being torn, would you think people, you would get a lot of sympathy vote? I just got one of our members says, one of our listeners says, I'm more for Cuomo. Yes, I will vote for him for mayor. Over, and this is what I'm saying. Like, some people are torn about that, and that's what I was asking Tanisha. What about those votes? Do you think those votes will have a major impact for Andrew Cuomo?
I think they will have a major impact. You know, but we also have to look at the other candidates as well. You know, all
Right.
the other candidates bring some key points to the table as well on things that they can do. Zelma Myrie has brought out a lot on policy issues. Michael Blake has started to introduce some of his policy issues. So I think folks are going to be torn across the board. It's not just going to be 100% I'm in for Andrew. It's going to be a question of who's going to really be the representative that sits in that seat that will take care of not only New York City, but take care of me as a voter.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking Tanisha and Phil, right? Tanisha, Phil, that because of his citywide notoriety, right? People had voted for him in 2010 for Attorney General, and he won in a landslide, right? For governor, landslide wasn't even the word for both of his terms. And people liked him. It will present for the other candidates an issue. Those candidates, I think, will get great votes for their base, people who love them. But to pull in other candidates, I think Eric and Andrew would be 1 and 2 because they're already there, right? I don't
So
think.
what's your take on the other candidates?
Well, Eric, Zellnor, Brad, Scott Stringer, and Michael Blake. Michael Blake is, like I said, Michael Blake is a formidable opponent because I took back my word, right? He's a formidable opponent because when he ran citywide against Jumaane Williams for public advocate, it was a strong race, right? And it is not a household name, but it's an apartment hole name, right? Meaning, not as big as a house, but he's still there, right? Brad Lander is a city controller, and he won that with ease. Scott Stringer would be, for me, would be the last candidate. Like, I just feel like I think he's done. I think stick a fork in him, he needs not run. Like, at this point, I feel like he's an opportunist. Zellnor Myrie, in central Brooklyn, he is known. But will he garner the citywide support? Will he get the union base, right? That Andrew is automatically going to get, Eric is going to get, right? Right? Who are the major unions going for? Right?
Well, Zellner has definitely been getting around the city. I've been hearing his name more and more. So he's definitely starting to pick up in terms of people getting to know who he is. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
I'm not interested in anyone else running. Election and candidates are not about individual. It's about what they will do for the masses. That's our response. Is not typed, but it's here sent to me. And she states that 1199 will not go with Zellnor Myrie, which is a major union in New York City. So the question is,
That's interesting.
Yeah, and this person is very established with 1199. So so he's not going to get the unions, right? But again, we're all speculating on Andrew Cuomo until he makes the decision, right? Because I don't know the answer.
Now I'm curious. I'm curious who 1199 would go with.
Huh?
I said I'm curious to see who 1199 would go with.
Yeah, I'm curious too. She's not telling me that part. Yeah, it's funny. We're actually, I think there's some issue with the links, right? Because I see Dr. Bryant made a comment online and she was looking for the link. I don't know how to send her the link. But it's very interesting that if Andrew doesn't run with ranked choice voting, where will Eric rank? Will Eric be given a lot of number 1 vote, number 2 votes? Who will be the third? Karen wrote, Super PAC just announced fundraising for Cuomo. He got to make the announcement.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, the conversations about him getting into the race have been, so mass that.
You think he's gonna be stuck? He's gonna be stuck.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
But
how much crying do we need to do at this point? That's what it feels like to me.
here's one thing I need to say, Tanisha. With the comments, and again, ladies and gentlemen, please just press the like button. Make your comments. You could either call in at 347-746. The number's on the screen, 347-746-6598, or you could send me a text message, or you could write it up on screen. The reality of the situation is, when Eric is making comments like those, it suggests that he's worried. That's what I get. That's what I get from it. What did Joanne write? Andrew will rank top. When the bridge come, we'll cross it. In the meantime, we got to get our boots on the ground with a core team, meaning for Eric. The candidates are qualified for New York. Benev, I like to call Benev my village pessimist. Candidates are not qualified for New York. Who is qualified, Benev? Who is qualified? And again, people, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and join us. Comment, make your comments on the show. We appreciate that. Tanisha.
Yes.
If Andrew doesn't run, by the way, let's go to another race. Comptroller. Let's go to comptroller. I don't even know who the candidates are. To be honest, I know Levine, Mark Levine, and I know Kevin Parker. Who else?
You have Assembly Member, I believe Assemblymember Raju Kumar. She's also in this race. No, she's running for public advocate now. She dropped out. She dropped out of the race for comptroller, so now she's public advocate. You also have, I think, Justin Brennan, the council member.
Oh, he's right. Brad's old partner. Right. So,
yeah.
In that race for comptroller, which I think is like one of those jobs that I don't even see the point of that job, but
of the comptroller.
Yeah,
that's the money man.
I know.
That's the one who controls the purse string.
Joanne, are you serious, Joanne? She wrote that when Cuomo joins, Eric will leave.
Leave what? Leave office?
No, when Cuomo joins the race, Eric Adams will drop out of the race.
Interesting.
That's an interesting. I don't believe that one bit. Not even one. Not even close. Not even close. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Tanisha. We're talking a little politics. But what's going on in New York City? New York City is a little crazy right now. But one of the things that is bothering me, right? For with the election is there was a lady in Illinois, Henyard, right? Henyard was the mayor, and she got stomped almost 8-1 in the election as the incumbent. She lost it by that much in the primaries. The question is, with that kind of thing going on, will that be a replica here in New York? For city controllers, you have Justin Brennan, Mark Levine, Ishmael Malawi, who's an analyst. You have Kevin Parker and Terrell Miller, right?
Oh, I don't even know who that last one is. I haven't heard that name.
Terrell Miller was a candidate for city council in the 31st City Council District. I guess that's in Queens.
Oh,
All right.
I'm right here, and I didn't even know that name.
All right.
Sorry.
The 31st district is in Queens. Am I correct? All right.
That name I'm saying, I don't know that name.
Yeah.
So not so much name recognition in my circle.
Right. Well, I understand that. Right.
But just to get back to Dr. Bryant's question, she said when Cuomo joins, Eric will leave the race. That's an interesting statement that she made there because, you know, it begs to differ why he would leave. Is it because he doesn't think he could win or because he's just tired, right? Knowing Eric the way I do, I think he would actually stay in and fight, to be honest. I think I would object to Dr. Bryant's statement. I think Eric would actually stay in and fight just to prove himself.
I agree. I don't see a standing mayor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a standing mayor getting out and saying, "Hey, I'm leaving because you're here," right? I'm leaving because you're here. I don't see that happening.
And he's got a lot to lose if he was just to walk away.
Right.
So.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. He still gets a pension. He'll be all right. You just got to find a new place to live. You'll be fine. District 31 is in Far Rockaway area in Queens. The former bar president Donovan Richards district.
Mm-hmm.
So that's District 21. So Rockaway, including Laurelton, Rosedale, Avern, Edgemere, and spots of Springfield Garden.
That's Sylvina Brooks Powers district.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one.
But I'm saying I don't know that name, so that's what I was saying.
All right. Janice wrote that she hoped that Andrew Cuomo gets on the ballot for mayor. Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button. The more likes, the better. More thumbs up, the better. We appreciate that. Thank you for watching. And Tanisha, thank you for the call. Right, appreciate that. Thanks for keeping my company while my co-hostess is missing in action. All right, and thank you so much.
You are most welcome, and thank you for having me. If you need me to call back in, let me know.
Yes, I'm still waiting for our date. You know, still waiting. You know, for us to go hang out.
Our children's play date.
Yeah,
we're on the radio. Our children's play date. Let's get that clear. Get me in trouble with my husband.
I'm saying our date. You know, I'm saying our date because my wife will be there, and I know Harold ain't leaving you. So, right, and you know the children come over. Hopefully, you'll be at the baseball game because they're playing against each other. Right.
Yes, I definitely will be at the baseball game, and I will definitely see you then.
Yes. All right. Looking forward. All right. We'll talk. And tell hubby I say hello.
He's listening. He's saying he's waving hi.
Oh, he's waving. I can't see waving, Harold. All right. I'm gonna bring our guests on. I'm gonna switch topic to our health and hospital. What's going on in our hospitals? I actually had an opportunity to speak today about downstate and about some of the conditions, SUNY downstate here in New York. And we're going to switch the conversation a little bit. to some of the egregious behaviors that are happening at our hospitals. So I'm going to bring on Nurse Jilks, right? Hopefully I pronounced your name right, right? Hopefully I pronounced your name is Jilks or Gilks. Which one is it?
Gilks, Deidre Gilks.
Hi, Miss Jilks, right? Good evening and welcome to the village.
Good evening, everyone.
So yesterday or 2 days ago, I get a frantic phone call. You must talk about this topic. What is going on in our hospital? So first of all, tell us who you are, Ms. Jokes.
Well, I'm Deidre Gilks. I'm an RN. I work at several facilities in New York. I moonlight, but my main place of employment is OBH, One Brooklyn Health.
Okay.
Um,
How long have you been a nurse?
I've been a nurse now 10 years, but I've been in the nursing field for 23 years. I was a patient care tech, like a CNA before. When you come to New York, the first thing they're putting you is in, oh, why don't you go do home health aide or CNA or something in the health field. They're always encouraging you to go into. So I started out as a CNA and worked my way up to an RN. Been an RN now for 10 years. Love it. Not the money, more so to help my fellow, what should I say, patients and compadre. Because I've gotten so close to them that they're more than my patients, And I love it. I really do. I have no regrets. And we need more people to join me in becoming an RN.
So, what was one thing that drew you to becoming a nurse? What was a motivation? Was it a person? Was it a situation? What made you? Was it somebody saying to you, "Hey, you're good at it. Why not get paid more for it?" What drove you?
As a CNA, I was doing above and beyond. And I would sit and watch the RNs work. And I'm like, but I can do this. I'm able to do this. So I signed myself up at City Tech, downtown Brooklyn. And I started 1-1 classes. At the time, that's what I could afford. I couldn't go full time. I had a daughter, a wife. It wasn't, we were struggling. So I did 1-1 classes until I accomplished, my prerequisites to get into the program. I applied to City Tech and they put me on a waiting list. So then I applied to St. Paul's School of Nursing and Nassau Community College. I got into both and I chose Nassau because it was more convenient for traveling. I don't have to pay toll, as if I had gone to Staten Island. So I chose Nassau. Yeah, I graduated with an associate.
You do realize that you're driving longer, right?
It's okay. The toll cost it adds up.
But the mileage on the car.
It's okay. But
all right. So,
in the long run, I can replace the car.
Okay, got you. I understood. So you were saying you got your associate.
I got my associate from Nassau Community College, and I went on to do my bachelor's, which I got 9 years now. Yeah.
All right. So you are, what is it? CRN, certified nurse? What is it?
Registered nurse. Registered nurse.
Okay.
No,
so
CRN is like a higher.
No, not CRN, but CRN.
No,
certified
RN.
Just RN.
Registered. No, there's no certification. It's a degree, so it's a registered nurse.
Okay, I wouldn't know.
So to become a registered nurse, you have to take the board. You have to take an exam. So you finish school, you finish your 4 years. You still have to go and sit an exam. You have to pass that board, which is saying you can now practice in the state of New York or anywhere else.
What's the name of the exam?
The NCLEX.
Okay.
It's called the NCLEX.
Perfect. Thank you for that little background. So today, like I told you, I got that frantic call, the frantic call that said, "What's going on with the hospital?" So I just have a few questions for you. Let me kind of pull them up. One of the things is that there's state requirements for nurse to patient ratio, right?
Well,
Let's get
that's
right.
what we're fighting for.
Tell me about that. What would be what do you believe would be a justified nurse to patient ratio?
5 to 1. 5 patients to 1 nurse, and it depends. If it's more acute, it's even less. I've had I remember I work Harlem Hospital. I had like 7 patients. 1 patient alone, I had magnesium. I had to be hanging back to back. Magnesium, I had to be hanging potassium. And then in between that, you have to be taking blood work because you have to follow up with what if the levels came up. No, that's just 1 patient. I had another patient that require finger stick every 4 hours. And in between that, you had patient getting like blood transfusion. Is a lot going on. And that was just med surg. That's not even an ICU or anything. That's just med surg tele. And that's what I had to be doing for just 1 patient. So imagine me having 7 patients and doing all of this with just 2. What happens to the other 5?
You know, welcome, Dr. Brian. Welcome.
Hi, Dr.
co-hostess.
Brian.
Hi, how are
How are
you?
you? Good.
Welcome on board. You don't have to text online anymore. You come right on screen. I
Yeah,
appreciate
it didn't work for me earlier.
It didn't work for you.
Mm-mm.
So what worked for you?
I
What did
even greeted our guest, Deidre, online.
Yes, you did.
See,
Yes.
it just wouldn't connect.
Oh, okay. So, but you know what? You're here now. So, and you look great, by the way. What the red and the red, you know, they kind of go together. Where's the glasses though? You need the red brim glasses.
No, I don't need no red brim.
Okay, well, all right.
So the thing what my problem is, or what I want to be focused on this show is a lot of them are a lot of the I would say everyone is focusing only on the hospital. That shouldn't be. What about the nursing home? The nursing home also needs ratio. That's where we put our loved ones for the end, to finish the end of their time. Like,
That's
you
true.
know, if you can't take care of them. So do you put them in a nursing home and it's 20 patients to 1 nurse. We're fighting for 1 nurse to 5 and 6 patients. In the nursing home is much more, and no one is advocating. No one is saying anything.
You know what? I have to agree with you with that 100%. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Tanisha. Good evening, Tracy, and all our listeners. Thank you again, Deidre, for being on this evening. You are 100% correct about that. Having the fact that I had 2 grandparents in a nursing home and other family members that went to the nursing home, you have to stay on top of that. Because many times they are the forgotten ones. And that's not fair. So if people are not always checking on their family members when you place them on, they will get infections. You know, people tend to go to sleep. Yeah. And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate because many times they go hungry. I have a friend who I just went and visit because she works in a nursing home, and it's not fair. It's not fair to the like you mentioned, 20 patients or 40 patients or 1 individual. It's impossible.
Impossible.
I want to share a similar story. July 29th, 2016, to be the exact date. My aunt died. She had suffered a fall in a nursing home in Queens. And on that day, and up till today, I felt like it was negligence of the nursing home, right? And to me, if you like you say, like she had a fall in the nursing home. She was not cognizant of what was going on. I also had another aunt, you know, that eventually she also succumbed to her illnesses, and I felt like both of them could have lived longer. And even when you talk about like rehab and physical therapy and OT and those kind of ensuring that those things are happening, they're not happening. One thing that you're not addressing, and I want to talk about that as well, is the ratio of the PCTs as well, right?
I was getting to that. That's one of I was getting to that too. So you have not PCT. I think they use CNA. So you have one CNA with 12 and 13 patients. 12 and 13, sometimes more, because if they're short, you have them having up to 14 patients. Forget at nights. At nights is 18. How are they able? And these patients supposed to be turned and repositioned every 2 hours. It's not being done. How?
The quality that they receive compared to going inside of a hospital is day and night. Like in a hospital, there's no way they would put so many patients to one nurse.
Would not. So, and they're still not advocating for the nursing home. Even my union, I'm trying to fight with my union, not fight, but advocate more for the nursing home also, not just the hospital, because everybody is the hospital, but they're the nursing home too. They're patient too. They're nurses. They're working also.
Right.
Rehab. I have a question for you, Nurse Gilks. You have a large patient. You need to turn that patient.
Require 2 people.
And can require more, actually, right? Depending on the size of the person. And so I was talking to a vice president today of another union, and we were talking about that and how does that work, especially if you have an emergency situation?
Well, all hands on deck. Everyone chip in. Nurses, PCTs, everyone comes and assist.
What if
we call them bariatric patient.
What if you're short? What happens to the
exactly
situation?
If you're short, let's say you have only 4 CNAs. The 4 CNAs and whatever amount of nurse you have, all of us would have to help.
Are there times that people are not turned because they're short of the people that need to support?
Of course.
And that's when they get sick. Now,
people look at it.
I don't know about the more pay. I don't know about the more pay.
I've heard it that nurses are spoiled. We only want more money, and listen, we don't get no money. We don't get any.
Nobody gets any money.
Take from the taxes. We don't see it.
Wait. I believe nurses need more help and more respect. I don't believe they need to make more pay. I'm a teacher. I was a teacher.
Roderick, we don't see the money. We don't see the money. No. We don't see the money. We do not see the money, and it's not about the money.
I don't see any money.
You know what? Nursing is becoming a profit. It's not. Where is the empathy? All of that is gone. Now it's only like just money making thing going on. It's all about the money.
So you know what? When you mention that, and it's true, because the thing is, the amount of work that you have to do, that money doesn't, it's not about money, it's about people's lives. Just like education is the same thing. It's about the people that you stand in front of, caring and loving.
Education is being a teacher is the only place where you have to have 2 masters to get the maximum salary. And you know what the maximum salary is? $50 an hour, or it's raised now, but at that point it was like $51 an hour.
Well, Roderick, you are not gonna go and clean somebody's butt, would you? Would you clean up someone's someone's?
I love how you
wait. Hold on.
Look at your face.
Wait.
I'm not gonna be doing the things I'm
doing.
Wait. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Have you seen some of these children that we have to teach? What are you talking about? Have you seen some of these children that we have to teach?
She's talking about cleaning people's butt, okay?
well,
I'm talking
that,
about
wait,
thesis,
you know, wait,
emesis,
I have a
all
friend,
these
right?
things that you have to be doing.
No, I have a
That's
friend
true.
that
It
says
takes
this,
a lot.
right?
It
I have a
takes
friend
not,
that
it
says
takes
this.
guts. It
Yes,
takes
it does.
empathy.
Yes,
It
it
takes
does.
a
Yes,
lot
it does.
because some of these patients
I think
are
the
sick.
CNAs need to make more money. That's what I think.
What?
I think the CNAs or the PCTs need to make more money.
I agree. I
Quicker,
agree.
quicker than I would give the nurses more money. But I do
Really?
believe that the respect and the ratio is very important. But I believe that CNAs need to have a higher salary because there I see it that there are respect there is a certain level of respect for the nurses, not enough for what you have to go through. But the CNAs, like it's like limited to none.
I
I
respect
mean,
my CNAs very much. And
right?
not only do I
Even from the
respect them,
patients
but
as
I'm
well.
hands-on with them. I'm hands-on with them, meaning if I'm giving medication and I go in there and I see a CNA needs help or a PCT needs help, I'm hands-on. I'll put the meds down and I assist them.
That is
So
you. That is you.
a
And
lot of us, a lot of the
but
nurses,
I mean, I know you to be a helpful person. I
a
do
lot
know
of
you
no,
to be that.
a lot of my nurses have been doing that, especially when they're short. We have been chipping in and we have been helping.
You know, by the way, just for the record, Star Girl, I have a friend. She said she never tips a waitress. I think that's bad, by the way, just for the record. I'm saying it out loud. And one of the reasons why she says she never tips a waitress, because you know the job that you took.
Wow.
That was
Yeah.
I felt
Wow.
that it's a terrible comment. That's why
It
she
is.
doesn't tip,
It
right?
is.
But with nursing and with
I tip
education,
according to the service I receive.
yeah, I tip. I think because I know that tipping is part of their salary. So they do look at tip as part of their salary that they get. So tipping to me is important. I'm not saying that. The point that I bring up the story is like when you say wiping butts, right? And I say kids fighting or kids bringing a knife to school or a gun to school or safety.
Roderick, we get it too. Did you see the news
I
where
just
that
said that.
nurse got all bones broken in her face? All bones
No,
in her
I just
face
said
were
that.
broken.
Right. I just said that there's safety issues as well.
And
Because remember,
might I add, I'm also a psych nurse. I got pushed from one end of the corridor to the other end of the corridor because the patient wasn't happy with how I look at him.
that's the psych though. That's the psych issue.
No, you can have nowadays.
No,
let
I'm
me say
saying that
something.
as to say
Anytime
that
you can have any
nursing is
patient.
a wide variety of fields. It's a wide variety of areas that you can go in, and in every area there are risks. So you're saying because you have to deal with the bad kids and you deserve more money than the nurses,
kids.
not
We don't say
necessarily
bad kids.
so.
We don't say.
I would say this.
We say misguided.
I would say many different occupation require so many hands-on, not only hands-on from different aspects, and it requires more. It's not about the money, and I mentioned that earlier. It's about human life. Whenever you are offering some form of service face to face, it could be restaurant, it could be food, it could be, in the hospital. Your service is a service. And the thing is, it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of change, and
we're not only taking on the patients alone. We're taking on their family too.
Self-control.
It's the patient and their family.
Honestly, my opinion is as follows.
It's a service job. It's a service job.
My opinion is that police officers, nurses, teachers, during COVID, when parents had to be home with their kids, right, it became a chaos. They couldn't wait. Like my kids had to go to school because they couldn't stay home. When you have to take care of your parents who are elderly, and you have to watch them day in and day out, bathe them, do this, do that.
It's not easy.
It's
Wow.
not easy.
Excuse me, I see Janice just post 2 PCA
Yes, I know. I'm
with
gonna get.
34
I'm gonna get to that.
patients.
Right.
What?
I'm gonna get to that. That's why I left it up there for a minute. So my true feelings is that it is about the money, a little bit, because if you're gonna work me to death, don't let me have to nickel and dime you. Right? A businessman who doesn't have the same type of burden makes millions of dollars, right? A financier makes all of this billions of millions. They sit behind the desk and play with people, other people's money, and make millions. But we who take care of them, take care of their children, their parents, their grandparents, they say we don't deserve it. So yeah, I do think the money is important. Right? That's just me. So and I'm going to say that because I don't think it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
You ask a nurse to have a bachelor's degree, take all these science courses, take all shit thrown at them, pardon my English, getting slapped, pee thrown on, cursed out. I was in
I've
the
had
hospital.
patients throw feces at me.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was in the hospital, Diego, and
Oh,
I don't even know what the nurse did. Right? I'm sitting in the room, and the patient went at the nurse.
We're in a different
complain about
time,
the
man.
food.
We're in a different time. Respect is
Yeah,
something that is.
I had to ask her to remove from the room. I couldn't believe how this man was so belligerent to the, and you have to deal with this every day.
but you know what
And
you have to realize? You have to realize, and this is where empathy comes in. These are patients that used to be like you and I, who were healthy at one point, walking on, were very independent, was able to clean themselves or go to the bathroom. Now they're not able to. So
They're
who are they going to
frustrated.
lash out? Who is the first person? Who is the person in front? You're the first responder, then put it that way. You're there to assist them. So in other words, you get the brunt of it because you're in the front line. Their family not there. You're there. So they're going to lash out at you. And this is where your empathy comes in. You got to realize it's not personal. You understand?
But they also need to understand. There's also, let me tell you something. Nasty kids grow up to be nasty adults, get to be nasty seniors.
I've had it. But again,
Right?
as Dr. Brian says, it's a service
just how
we're
they are.
offering.
Yes.
So with that service comes those behaviors. Is it
Right.
acceptable? No, but it's what it is. So sometimes what I do, when the patients are nasty, I'll say to them, when you're calmed or when you're in a better mood, I will come back to you. I walk out the room and I leave them. Excuse me?
We don't have that choice as teachers. We don't have that choice as teachers. We do not have, because we cannot leave the kid alone.
Well, again, it depends on the situation, because if it's a patient that's really ill, I can't just walk away. But if it's, as I said, if it's a stable patient, I can say to them, I will be back.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of staying there and have a confrontation with them, I'll walk away.
Let's talk about Janice's comment, which is a boring. Sometimes the hospital on weekends is 2 PCA for 34 to 35 patients, especially on the night shift, which is what you're saying.
And that's what I just said. At night is worse.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it worse?
No staff.
But I thought there was a salary differential at night. That's still not convenient.
It doesn't. Yes, there's a differential. They call it differential. Yes, but again, what I find is a lot of young people are coming into nursing, and when they actually start it and see the reality of it is not as what they expect it to be, they're leaving. So you find a lot of people are leaving the bedside and they're going into the office, or they're nurses, but we call them paper pushers. So they go to the paper aspect of it where they're not dealing with it.
I'm a paper pusher. I'm offended at that statement.
Right. But we have nurses that are paper pushers. We call them
so you're calling me a paper pusher. All right, no problem.
Where they will not go and do hands-on. Me, I will not, you would not find me in an office. and trust me, I've gotten offered to work with the insurance company and work from home. I like to be hands-on with my patient. It's a joy when I come in the morning and my patient say, "Oh, Miss Gilks, I noticed you weren't here yesterday." It
Yeah.
tells me
Makes the
something.
day go faster. Let's talk about
Can I say
facility.
one thing before you
Go
switch this? You know who's gonna have a problem running? Cuomo with nursing homes. He's gonna have a serious problem with that
I'll go back to the
because
Why?
previous
that
conversation.
because of what happened with COVID. So that's a
But you know
stigma.
what?
That's
I would
still,
not blame Como, because at the time, I believe when COVID came about, no one knew exactly what it was and how to handle it. So to me, as a nurse, I think he handled it the best way he could at the time.
hmm But a lot of
Because
people will say different. There's some that would say, "Okay, I understand," and
they
some
don't
that says
know.
they don't. Right?
They don't know. But and still people are still saying that COVID wasn't real. But when I saw those trucks line up in the back of Kingsbrook, it's for
Yeah,
real. It's
yeah.
for real. And I've had it twice.
I
That
think
is
like so. I was going back to facilities. They did a lot of changes at your primary hospital in terms of One Brooklyn Health,
Mm-hmm.
and I see that there's building. What are some of the issues that you think, not just your hospital, but you said you visited a few hospitals. So let's talk about we're making a general statement. What are some
Mm-hmm.
things that you would say? Like I stated at the beginning, that that I was at downstate. They have 750 million to spend. The question is, building a facility, recreating the facility, where would you spend this money?
I would spend it on education
Mhm.
and staffing. So when I say education, I would say you need more patient-centered care, and not just for the staff at hand, but also for management.
Okay, but that's not going to get you some. So I'm looking like, what are some of the things that you see? Like for me, I think like maybe building more rooms, right? Giving more patients more privacy.
Again, you're gonna build more rooms and no staff.
That's true.
So let me. I had a
No, but the
hard time
purpose of
getting into.
the purpose of the room is not to increase patients,
Is to do what?
but to increase patient quality. So,
How is the
like,
room gonna increase?
I'll give you a good example. I'll give you a good example.
Wait, I gotta interrupt you because you're saying you're not hearing what she said. You give more room, but you don't have people to
No,
to
I
give
heard
that
that. I heard her.
quality.
No,
So
I
here
heard
it
that.
is.
But how is
No,
the
no.
room gonna improve the
No,
care?
no.
How?
Wait. Let me explain. I heard what she said, Dr. Brian. Right? I don't disagree that you need to increase staff, because that's one thing that I spoke about. When my first son was born, he was born at Kings County. We were in a room with a bed with other mothers giving birth.
Mm.
Right? Literally, when my son was born, his mother sat there and his head pushed out, and I had to yell, "Nurse, nurse, the baby's coming." Literally, that's literally happened. His head pushed out. I saw his head. I ran to the door and I called the nurse for them to come in, that she's in labor.
Mm.
Right? When my wife was giving birth, we went to a different hospital, LIJ. She was given a private room, her own bathroom.
Mhm.
I was able to sleep over.
Mhm.
You just said it. You
No, wait.
said LIJ. You
No,
cannot
hold on.
compare.
Wait,
And
wait.
again,
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. It wasn't that they increased the number of patients. They just increased the patient quality. So I'm asking you the same question. What are some ways? I get the staff. I get it, because you need the ratio. We spoke about the ratio earlier. Long time, spend time, bring down the ratio, right? Increase the staff, increase the PCA, increase even the doctors at sometimes, because sometimes you have one doctor on shift that's monitoring 6 or 7 different floors because that's the person on shift, right? So you still need to increase that as well. But I'm talking about the other aspect, the infrastructure, the patient quality. What are some things that you think would help to build patient
You
quality?
can have better furnitures,
Okay.
better
Like what?
furnitures, equipment,
I don't know.
should say.
What kind of furniture do you
Equipments.
have?
Equipments.
Okay.
So you have, like, we have beds that can weigh the patient, which helps with the CNA having to. I remember when I first started, we had to crank these beds up, like physically lay down and bend down and crank the beds up. Now we have
Right.
remote beds. We have beds that you just press the button and it can tells you what the patient weight is. So that's an improvement that they have done. But again, they're looking to hold back as much money as they can. So as I said, it's a business. It's a business, and the money they think of first before they think of the patient.
Yes.
It's a business.
Right.
And they might be allotted
Tanisha wrote
700 million,
updated
and later
equipment.
on you hear 500 million is missing. And how many of it went towards the patient or staffing or any education or any improvement in the hospital? Very few.
You know,
It's an ongoing thing.
I think, you know, we were talking about it, and you know, it's funny because the $750 million that Downstate is getting, it's about capital expense, right? And so that's why I'm asking the question as somebody who's on the inside, right? Because it's trying to build a new hospital, build a garage, right, that people can park. But the problem with building a garage, they're going to charge people.
Exactly, because I pay $80 a month for parking.
Yeah, which is ridiculous, right? New York City is the only place, like, I refuse to go to King's Plaza to shop because I don't believe I should pay to
Me too.
spend
I go
money.
to Valley Stream where the parking is free.
Exactly. I don't think, like, if I'm going to the hospital, insurance man, you know, I share this on the store on the show a lot. Like, when I did the chemo at another location, they were getting $30,000-$40,000 a month. So it's not like
you know what, Roderick? It's also the inequality of black and brown. It's sad to say.
Let's talk about that.
Because if you go to go to Manhattan, for instance, Sloan's, Long Island Jewish, you go to Downstate and you go to Brookdale, you go to OBH, it's different. The whole atmosphere, how they treat it is totally different.
So do you think that some of that money should be used to what? How would you make that better? I mean, I'm just brainstorming. I don't think you're not the DEI specialist or anything.
No,
like
I'm
that.
not. But I would. That's why I said education and staffing.
You know, and to me, I see the difference, right? Mm-hmm. I see the difference. I got an opportunity to as my role in the community, I got an opportunity to get a tour, right, of Downstate. Mm-hmm. And what I saw of Downstate versus MSK, night and day. Mm-hmm. My mother-in-law, God rest her soul, was at New York Langone, and I went to visit her. It was totally different. Totally different. Why can't we bring that to Brooklyn? Why can't you bring that to Central Brooklyn? That's what I'm wondering.
Because Brooklyn depends on a lot of Medicaid and Medicare funding. And because of that, it's limited as to how much they can spend, opposed to the private hospital and the private pay community, which is Manhattan and Long Island.
But but they still have insurance, right? They still use, but they use. I guess they use what, better insurance because they have GHI or those different things.
Private pay, yep. They're not treated the same. It's not the same.
You're the CEO of your hospital. You're the CEO. You're the paper pusher of your hospital. Tell me, I know you talked about some, but what would be your vision for that hospital? And what would you want to implement?
My vision for the hospital is that every patient that comes in can leave and say, this was the best hospital I've ever been in. And remember the care that they got and the empathy that the workers bestow on them. They will never forget it.
That's important.
And it is very, and let me tell you something. And I've been in the hospital myself, and you'll be having pain. And sometimes it's not so much the pain pill that you need, but somebody to be there to talk to hold your hand, to show you they understand. Just to listen goes a long way than just the pain pill or the pain medication, the pump, whatever they're giving you.
You know, it's so true, because the thing is, people will remember customer service, good customer service. People,
and that's why I said education.
Their family member too will remember that. You know, people talk a good game, but it's how you treat them that stands out. That stands out.
I have a response here that asks this question: where do we get the staffing that we desperately need? This is not just us; it's a nationwide issue. So, and then we're going to go to.
And this is why I keep saying you educate the public. Like, for instance, when I went to nursing school, they didn't tell me what I was going to experience. They made it sound like a bed of roses, like it's going to be so nice and beautiful. And when I'm telling you, and if you're not strong, and when you go into actual field and you start doing nursing, it's totally different. If you're not strong, you quit. I'm telling you, because there are many days I wanted to quit. And I kept going back and I kept going back. And I said to myself, how can I change it? How can I make a difference today? What can I do to improve the hospitality of the hospital? And it's like we're the waitress and we're serving the patient. It's all about your approach. And that's why I'm big on, I keep saying education. And back to where she said how we can recruit. I don't know, we recruit them, but they're not staying. So
it's a lot. It's a lot. And it makes me think, I'm sitting here like,
and I'm believing it's because it's too much. It can be very overwhelming, and management doesn't make it easy because they'll be in their office. They don't know what's going on the floor. You take a tour now, every morning you take a tour. You say, I see you. I see what you're doing. I appreciate you. It goes a long way.
So are you seeing that less and less people are getting in the field?
They're getting in the field and they're getting out just as quickly as they come in.
Okay. So I'm thinking that like you said, education, but also while they're doing their internship, do they get to do internship? Do they get to,
Brookdale has an internship program right now. But and the internship they have, I think you start out brand new nurse and you give 3 years. $11.99. They have this program. They got a grant where oh my God, I wish I'll give you the paper, Roderick, and maybe you can air it on your show next time. So it's a program where they got funding. It doesn't matter what field, they'll pay for you to go to school, but you must give back 3 years in New York.
Okay, similar to
they pay all expenses paid.
Like Excelsior College, right?
Excelsior, right. So that's one way of we're trying to recruit nurses and PCTs. Right now, I think OBH has this thing where you come in as you are, and they'll train you as a CNA, take the boards, and they'll hire you. So if anyone out there is interested and they want to be a CNA, One Brooklyn Health has this program going on.
This is awesome. Thank you for sharing, because that people don't know.
Yeah.
in order to get them in the field. You know, how young do we start? Do we go to the high schools? Do we share with the high school students to say, hey, you know, this is an option? I remember I went to Clara Barton. I thought I wanted to, you know, every West Indian parents want their child to be either in the medical field, medical field. And I saw blood one time and I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me. Not for me. As soon as they started to do take blood, and I was like, oh no, this is enough.
That's what I'm saying. They paint this beautiful picture in nursing school, and when you start, you realize it's not for you.
But at least I learned at a young age. It wasn't for me. You know, I learned that in high school that, you know, no.
I love it. I love the gruesome stuff. I love it.
So that's the thing. If we start getting them at a younger age, you know, especially in high school ages, middle school ages, you know, to say, hey, let's see what it is.
Right.
You know, instead of just reading a book or hearing all these fantasy things, let's see the blood. Let's see, you know, I remember my sister who she actually did an internship in the morgue. There's no way. I don't have the heart for this. Me to see dead bodies, there's no way. But she enjoyed it. I was like, oh, absolutely not. So, you know, we could be from the same cloth, but different, you know, different altogether.
Well, my first dead body, I didn't sleep for a week.
Oh no.
But now it's like I've gotten used to it.
Well, God bless you. I'm telling you, it is. Some people are built for that, and you are truly.
You'll be talking to them too, because you have to treat them as if they're still alive.
Oh no!
You still give them that respect.
Where we're going to get the staff to accommodate where these 5 million. I want to talk about the gold card. Yeah.
Yes. God bless you. Thank you, Star Girl. This blood thing is just not for me. It is
and she's right. Management doesn't care about us. They don't, and that's the sad part of it.
I mean, like you said, they touch on the bottom line, which you spoke about, Deirdre, which is money. Right? Money. When you work at a public hospital, it's even worse, right? The crisis is worse when you work at a public hospital. But Ms. Jokes, I want to thank you for spending your Thursday evening with us.
And advocating for
your patients.
Not only the patients, but just overall the medical field, the patients, the medical field, the people working in the field. So it really, really takes a lot. And thank you for sharing the real. You know, it's not all that it's cut out to be. It takes a lot of guts.
Because everybody keeps saying nursing making all this money.
It's not about the money. It's deeper than that. And the thing is, do not forget the people in the hospital and the nursing home. And the hospital is not the only one, like you mentioned. The nursing home, the rehab location. So when we think of medical, we don't just think of one size fit all.
Exactly.
It's everyone. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
I echo everything that Dr. Brian said, but I like to add, you speak valiantly about patient life and quality, and that's what each hospital needs to bring. So thank you so much, Ms. Jokes. Enjoy the rest of the
evening.
Bye.
God bless you.
It is crazy out there, you know, in terms of what is happening. I want to switch topic real fast with the gold card and the gold visa card. I want to start that conversation a little bit.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell me about this. I briefly heard about it.
So basically, what Donald Trump wants to sell a gold visa card that gives you permanent residency and a pathway to citizenship in the United States for $5 million.
So he think immigrants that's coming up here trying to save their life from things that's happening, if they have $5 million, just give it to him.
Well, he's remember now. So the purpose is to attract If you can afford $5 million for a gold visa, think about it. What's your economic status in your country?
Why would I want to come to the United States when I have $5 million? I could be anywhere else.
Again, what is the United States? The streets are paved with what?
It's not
Right.
paved with gold. I'll tell you that. It's
No,
not
it might not be. It might not be. But
Especially with Donald Trump,
wait. Because you're changing the expression, doesn't mean that the expression doesn't exist.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
The streets are paved with gold. So I'm coming to the United States because I think I can be richer. And that's what Donald Trump is saying. These people will bring money to the United States. Right? They will bring money to the United States. And that's that.
Oh, like Elon Musk that wanted to bring immigrants. He didn't want to bring any type of immigrants. He wanted to bring the ones who will come here to work in the technology field. That brings another effect. Okay, all right.
Right. And to me, it's like, what are you saying? Who are you? See, I was watching.
So get rid of the one
that's
type of immigrant to get another type of immigrant.
You're absolutely correct. Because the street is lined with gold, so they're gonna charge us, right? The reality of the situation is, right? The reality of the situation is that, what are you telling somebody who sees America as a place of the American dream? Do you believe people are now saying there's no more American dream? Do you believe that?
That there's no more American dream? I don't know. I don't sign up for that. I don't sign into that. You know, I don't believe that. No, I don't believe that. I think they make it harder for individuals. They're making it harder for one population versus another population. You know, he thinks it's going to show improvement, but when you actually fire everybody who knows what they're doing and put a bunch of people or whatever, they want to put robots, people, whoever, is it going to make it more efficient? Absolutely not. It's as though you're saying, you know, there's a saying that says, hey, we want to get rid of all the older folks and bring in young folks, but there's knowledge with some of the older folks that you want to learn from, instead of deciding that I'm going to wipe everything away and, you know, do it my way and then make the mistake in the process. So it's interesting. Tracy said the American dream's done since America became, what did she put? Mary Maca? Okay.
The American dream does not become America. Oh, she's using her like a patwa.
Oh, sorry, Tracy.
Yeah.
Mary. Okay. Well,
Right.
it's a shame, but you know what? When we're trying to say that, hey, we don't want immigrants. Hey.
And you know, Tanisha, he said that the oligarchs of Russia will, of course, they're good people. They're good people. They should come over. Like everybody for him, they're good people.
Yes. The gold card will have his picture of him. Just like the stimulus check with his signature on them.
Yeah.
Oh,
by the way, 3.2 million Americans will get a boost. Civil servants will get a boost in their Social Security. I hope I'm one of them. Right. I hope I'm one of them. Because they should get a boost on around April. They'll get a boost. by the way, before I forget, also it's tax season. Please make sure you file your
Yes,
taxes.
and a lot of people are getting bills that they never had before.
Right.
Thanks to the people that they're putting in now and getting rid of. So
Yeah.
please, especially the people in Florida. So please, please, please pay attention. Pay attention.
Absolutely, absolutely, Tracy. The January 6 riders were good people. That's why he pardoned them. They were good people. Yeah, so please make sure you get your taxes in. And by the way, there are a lot of scams going on, people. There are a lot of scams. Social security scam. If you're on WhatsApp, you get a phone call. I know I was terrorized this week. Do you get a phone call from a pastor, Dr.
No,
Ryan?
no.
Some people did. One of our friends got the phone call and he was arguing with the pastor. The pastor told him to go and hang himself.
What? Oh, that sounds familiar. Oh my goodness.
I was like, well, we sure know he ain't no pastor. You know,
That's crazy. What church does he? Oh my God.
You know, what church does he go to? You know, like, you know, he's a part. Because I don't agree with you, tell me to go hang myself. All right, no problem. I will. You know.
Oh my God, I can't.
I share a joke with you. So about a couple weeks ago, one of them called me, and they're like, "Oh, I'm calling you from such and such a group, and you know we're having a meeting later." By the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's how it goes, right? We have a meeting later, and we're gonna send you a code.
Yes, I did get that in one of the WhatsApp group, especially the one you put me in. I ended up talking to the person. I was like, what is this?
Hey, beautiful. Hey, is that Raven? Right. So when he's talking to me, I was like, and hi, Auntie Maureen. Before I forget, you don't custom say me never say hello to you. Hey, all the villagers. I see all the names. Hey, villagers. So he's talking to me and it was like, oh, there's a meeting today. I said, I'm the president of the group. He goes, click.
Oh my God.
You know, my friend, he said, they go, what's your last name? He goes, Ing. He goes, and what's your first name? He goes, Annoy. Your name is what? Annoying. Click. You know, he just has time to waste. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not fall for it. They're out there. They're scammers. There's no Social Security. There's no Easy Pass. There's no group meeting later. Just ignore.
So wait, one thing I need to find out. March 21st, congestion pricing is coming to a halt.
I'm not sure yet, but what I do know, I have a CT scan tomorrow and I have to pay congestion pricing. That's what I know, right? That's what I know, right? And I'm fairly upset about paying congestion pricing.
Well, this is one thing that I do agree with Donald Trump about. Congestion pricing must come to an end. Thank you for putting an end to this.
There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I agree with Donald Trump about. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't.
I said this is one thing that I agree with him about. Right. Congestion prices. That's what I said. I didn't say many things. That's on you. I said about the congestion pricing nonsense. That's what I said.
Okay, boss. Okay, boss. Happy birthday to my cousin Garcia, not my wife. I have a cousin and a wife named Garcia. So happy birthday. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Tanisha said, I had one question. Hot sheets in.
What? Tanisha said, hot sheets in? I don't understand. What are hot sheets? I have one answer. Oh, hot sheets in. Oh, when the scammers call. That's her response. Hot sheets in. Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for listening, commenting, calling in. Thank you so much, Tanisha, for standing in my place because I couldn't get in. But thank you for listening. Thank you for the conversation, your participation. And like Roderick always say, like and share.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And continue to like, share, participate on the village. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Hit it as many times as you want. That'll be great. Appreciate you. I'll see you next week. God bless.
Have an amazing week. Bye.